Loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
You ought to be ashamed to let me sleep this late. Half the day is gone as pretty near sunup. Land sakes alive, I ain't stayed abed this late in 72 years.
Morning, Granny.
Now, Jethro, don't you yell at me. I'm going to get breakfast just as soon as I can.
Ma's done give us breakfast already, Granny. And now she's got us cleaning the house from top to bottom.
How come no one woke me?
Well, she says we ain't supposed to wake you. That's how come she shut off your alarm clock.
So Pearl done it. I'm sorry I took it out on you, Clock.
Yes, sir. Your boss says bring you this bucket of suds. Oh, morning, Granny. How's your rheumatiz?
What rheumatiz?
Well, Pearl said you was having some twinges last night. That's how come she put a little Mountain Dew into your squirrel soup.
Pearl spiked my soup?
Yeah, she figured it would help you to sleep. And you was liking it, too, Granny. You kept asking for another slug of soup.
Well, that's because I couldn't believe that Pearl could make such good soup.
Granny, what are you doing up? Ain't Pearl said I was to give you your breakfast in bed.
Beds is for sleeping, not eating.
Well, ain't Pearl said a body had to be waited on?
WFIN News 2 is breaking news programming and bringing you some breaking news now.
Breaking into programming right now this afternoon on WFIN News 2. We got some storms that are rolling into our upstate. Let's take you outside to what our radar is showing us. 93 in Greenville, 95 in Malden. Let me tell you, that rain is on the way, and we're going to take you to that in just a few minutes. Yeah, strong storms possible this afternoon, and you can already probably hear those rumbles of thunder knocking on our door. You can see from the radar, not really looking like any rain, but let me tell you, if you were to look outside, the skies are getting darker, and it is just that time for the storms to be knocking on our door here at this hour, about 1 o'clock on News 2. Just a reminder, if you gotta be outside, yeah, we got some heavy rain starting about 15 minutes, is according to my radar, which my radar, the radar system, and Greenville, yeah, showing we got some heavy rain coming in just a few minutes on the live Doppler radar. Going to be showing us, going to cause us lots of storms across the upstate this afternoon. So I'm hoping that if you got to be outside or something, that you can get that done in a timely manner, so that because that storms is going to be rocking and rolling across the upstate, and we want to make sure that you can do everything you got to do to make sure you're inside during that time. We got some heavy storms. That's why today we have an impact day. We're going to take you to a Skycam that gives us justice of what we're looking at this afternoon. So, we're going to take you outside momentarily from our Skycam network, which is a group of Skycams we have across the upstate that basically show across the state, not just across the upstate, they show us what we're looking at, like traffic-wise. We do got some slowdowns there across this afternoon. Is what I'm picking up on our traffic center with the time saver traffic. What we're pulling up, because that's some congestion on I-85 today between that's near mile marker 50. Yeah, you can see it is raining good there right across that Skycam. Yeah, let's go ahead and take you to what we're looking at outside this afternoon, because I would say we do have a little bit to be looking at this afternoon, rain and storms. like we said, rain and storms possible this afternoon. Yeah, showing us what we need to see. Perfect. All right, so we're about to be taking you to our radar in just a few minutes, which is going to be showing you. So you can see that sky cam about I-85. Rain is just coming down hard there across our sky cam there. So we're about to go show you into what our live Super Doppler weather team. You can see that congestion is causing the slowdowns on I-85, and that's not all. We're going to be taking you into our sky cam, giving you a sky cam look, because we got that heavy rain across the upstate possible this afternoon. We want to make sure that you are first to know about it and all of that fun stuff, because hey, that's what we do here. So you can see, like I said, Skycam Network is showing tons and tons and tons of rain across the upstate. Yeah, it's going to be a doozy out there this afternoon. Like we showed you on our radar, that was just a model radar. I don't really like to look at that radar just because it doesn't do us enough justice, but you can see on your screen right now, you can just see that, yeah, showing that about this hour we have a little bit of storms and stuff moving into the upstate, but it's not like a complete washout. But we need a washout, don't we? If you anybody like me who likes to be outside and stuff like that, we kind of need a washout, right, to cool us down because we're so hot. We're 93 in Greenville. Like I said, 93 in Greenville, 95 in Malden, Fountain Inn sitting at 97. Probably the hottest of all of us in the upstate is in Fountain Inn, right? Just minutes from our studio, our actual own studio thing. It's down. Unfortunately, we have a weather center that's our weather, kind of like a weather station here at our studio, and unfortunately, it's down today. Sometimes it stays down. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's down today. Can't really do us justice. Unfortunately, there we can't really show you what we're looking at outside of our radar. But we're going to take you to our radar now because we need to get this out there for you guys. Yeah, like we said, strong to severe storms possible this afternoon. Doing us some justice there. We're going to have that coming up on your screen because you need to know what's going on outside in just a second. Alrighty, friends, let's go ahead and take you outside. Now, we do have an issue going on with our camera. Unfortunately, we literally have no camera right now, as we speak. So stay with us for just a minute as we get you what we're looking at outside. Alrighty, friends, like we said, let's go and take you outside to how we're looking. We actually may have lost internet in this studio. I'm not 100% sure. Because we are certainly, everything's not rolling. Well, yes, it is rolling now. Okay, perfect. So, I'm not on camera. Not really sure what is happening there, because we don't have any camera signals. So yeah, we're not rolling on the cameras. But you can see across the upstate, we got tons of severe weather moving through our area, and that's going to cause, yeah, some strong winds. Okay, strong winds across our area. You can just see those warnings on our screen. Not really sure. We don't have a radar. Our radar is not pulling up at this moment. Oh, okay. We are on camera officially. Alrighty, you can see me. I'm stuck on the screen. Alrighty, so major issues with it going on. Okay, so across the area, what are we looking at? So like I said, we're having a little bit of issues out here. Okay. Alright, so what we're looking at, you can see across our radar, you can see tons of this rain across the upstate, right? This radar is not doing us enough justice. It is causing it to be a little slow this afternoon, but you can see that severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, that's possible there. Clicking into that, if we get it to work, we have to turn into model. So let me just kind of show you, kind of give you like a little brief look at what we're looking at out there. Alrighty, hold just a second. Okay, sorry friends, we're still having a little bit of camera issues this afternoon. Yeah, let me see if I can scale this down so we're not so, well, okay, I'm gonna have to scale our camera down in just a few minutes. But you can see across the episode, it says, yeah, severe thunderstorm warning on the screen there. Yeah, expires about 51 minutes from now. Having some majorly system issues right now. We're gonna try to get you that and see if we can get it fixed this afternoon. Alrighty, friends. So sorry there. So we're still having a lot of system issues right now. We're going to take you to another look to see. We're going to take you back outside this afternoon. It's the wrong thing. Yeah, we're having a little bit of system issue this afternoon. So if you would bear with us, yeah, I think we're going off air. Okay, so I'm going to get everybody to stay put where you are. I'm not seeing any tornadoes across the area, which is good thing, but you can see that Skycam is just doing us justice, showing us kind of what's going on out there, what we need to fix, kind of like that. So just a whole bunch of strong storms. Yeah, our basically our browser that shows us kind of what we're looking at, the weather app is just absolutely not working this afternoon. So sorry there. If you would please bear with us, if you are watching live, we got a ton of severe storms moving through our area right now. You can see that Skycam is just telling us what's happening right now. So if you are kind of where you are in the upstate, give us a shout. Tell us where you're listening from. We really would appreciate that, so we can kind of help you to kind of determine what we're looking at from your area. So we're tracking, of course, severe thunderstorms that are possible this afternoon, and you can see they're more than just possible. They are probably much prone to happen, and that's already happening across the upstate right now. Like I said, bear with us. Continuing to have some severe to have some system issues. It's probably the worst part of my job is when things. Okay, here we go. So our map is not really working, so you can see everything but where we are. It's never good to have the system not working. Yes. Okay. It's never good to have things not working at this hour. Wait, can I turn that on? Okay, here we are. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take you out now to live Super Doppler 2 weather. Strong to severe storms moving right and rocking and rolling right out of our upstate. Let's go ahead and take you right now into the look. Alrighty, so you can see on the screen, strong to severe storms, Greenville, Malden, all those areas getting hit, packing a punch for sure outside. So, Malden, Reedville, that is getting strong to severe punches. Move through the area right now. Enoree, Woodruff. So you can click on that. You can see severe thunderstorm warning. That is happening right now for all of us across the upstate. Alrighty, so sorry, we're having lots more issues this afternoon. We're going to take you street to street, street by street, town by town. Let's go ahead and map it out. So, Malden, extremely heavy storms. You can see, packing a punch across the upstate. Yeah, I'm not on camera. That's for a reason. But let me see if I can adjust this. Okay. Alright, perfect. So, you can see, the Five Forks community, tons of severe weather. That's packing a punch, moving down, right? So most of the upstate, we're under lots of severe weather. You can see, clicking into, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is happening right now. Radar has indicated that. You see on your screen. Severe weather for East Greenville County. right? Upstate to South Carolina between Spartanburg and Greenville counties. You can see we have wind values up to 60 miles an hour. That is rain indicated in an inch size hail. That is strong. Fountain Inn, downtown Fountain Inn getting poked really hard by this storm. Moving down to all of our street levels in Fountain Inn, you can see all the way from Inn Circle, which is right here, like that larger band, right, of strong severe storms, near Northwestern Street, near right here, this building right here, that's Fountain Inn First Baptist Church, getting hit with some strong to severe storms. You can see down to street level, down to satellite view is what we can see here. And that's an advantage to have with our radar. Fortunately that we have that, that availability to be able to track storms down that kind of close, right? Alrighty, so back in, you can see we just got a new update. That lighter rain is moving through downtown Fountain Inn, but we keep getting these larger bands. Now we're seeing another system is formed for parts of Gray Court. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning for Gray Court issued now. So that's lots of severe weather. Our that super resolution velocity is now what we're looking at on your screen. Now, what is that going to show us, right? You're going to kind of show you what our winds are looking like. These are our winds. So our green is more our lighter winds, you can see here, and then our reds are getting more stronger winds, and that is moving for parts of Fountain Inn and Simpsonville. You can see down near the Youngs community, that's very strong winds to 60 miles an hour. Sorry, I had to grab my phone. So I'm going to give us an update of what towns by towns or being affected, or what kind of storm impacts we're seeing. Kind of like that. Okay, so more of our winds moving, like I said, strong. Their super resolution velocity. Now this is our super res storm reflective velocity. That's kind of showing our storms, kind of where our cells are across the upstate Youngs community. Yeah, like here at the studio, you can see here this blue dot right there. Clicking into that, you can just see that we are somewhat in like a lull of not. Yeah, that severe thunderstorm is popping up on our screen here. Winds up to 60 miles an hour, and this is spreading from Malden all the way to Roebuck, Woodruff, and Spartanburg, okay? So I need you guys to stay put if you are. Once you hear that thunder, remember to stay put if you can. Because, yeah, that's super strong. Now, our tilt is just showing you different models. Yeah, you can see kind of a lull between Williamston, and it's steady, packing a punch there across the upstate. Now, this is our mapping. This is kind of showing us what our severe weather is looking like outside of our mapping on our screen, and you're going to see that pop up very momentarily there. Yeah, we have map only. I'm so sorry. Outlooks. So this is kind of showing us we have an elevated risk for higher winds today. You can see at the bottom of our screen it says elevated, right? Yeah, that just means that it's just a stronger punch of rain happening across the upstate, right? So our observations, this is kind of what shows us what's happening, kind of what we're looking at, so sorry, okay, kind of how our values of winds were 85 in Greenville right now, 85 in Malden, and Fountain Inn sitting at 85, so some models are showing what our temperatures are looking like. So yeah, feeling mid-80s across the upstate. Our heat index also feeling super hot across the upstate. Radar is showing us, is doing us justice here. So you can see the strong to severe system we're able to show you there on the screen. We can also measure for you if we need to, kind of how much of a radius we're looking at. So these storms moving about a, let's say, a 13-mile radius. That's crazy how much our storms are packing a punch across the upstate. Just steady packing a punch, moving, and now we're pressing into place. This is sitting about right now 102. So just a few minutes ago, you can see that storm's quickly moved in from about 10 to 1, and it quickly moved into the upstate. And that, yeah, strong storms as we continue our afternoon coverage. Just a reminder, stay inside if you can. Satellite and radar showing us, yeah, you can see are just tons of rain. Yeah, that's all that I can say. This is mainly our cloud cover across the upstate, and radar is showing us justice there. This is about 1 hour accumulation of how much rain we've accumulated. 3 hours accumulation. Our storm total accumulation, yeah, that on our screen now. Dual polarization. Can't talk there. But we're going to be continuing watching that, and we're going to take you into another map of what we look at for our rain. You can see we're just tons of rain now shifting down. Here at the studio, we're going to see some more stronger system. You can move. You can see we just got a whole band around the upstate, around the Carolinas. That's just that strong to severe band of our rain across the upstate. Yeah, we're going to keep on going with that here on the here on 2, because this is important that we keep you up to date. Yeah, live Super Opera 2 HD scanning the area, showing us, yeah, it's black on the screen. Don't worry, we're getting that changed. Because we're showing you in more high definition radar that we can track the storms down to whatever level we need to show you. And here on our radar, this is kind of what we're showing you. Yeah, strong storms packing a punch just across the upstate. You can see from Fountain Inn to Simpsonville, like we said, we've had that strong system. Now we're moving to mesoscale decision, which means we have that interesting weather, right? We're going to tell you about that in just a few minutes. But you can click on each individual cell here. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning, about 34 minutes on both of these, and what I'm expecting, these two systems. 49 for the one near Lawrence and Young's community. So I'm going to be tracking out how much longer. So moving to a system that is right near Carlisle and Whitmire. If you click into that, I expect to be hitting the stronger of this patch of cells right here. I'm expecting to get to hit Carlisle, so about this area right here, about 2:02. That's what time our maps are showing us. Right, so I need everybody to prepare because there is just a lot of rain and storms packing a punch across the upstate. I'm trying to get our system to quit acting up. But you can see packing a punch across the upstate from town by town, street by street is when it makes packs a punch. Oh. Okay. Never mind. I need to get that off the screen. Sorry, everyone. Alright, so we're gonna get back to our programming. Or back to our show. We just had a glitch. Okay. Like I said, the Youngs community, just tons of rain. That cell G5 right down here near Carlisle and Lawrence. You can click, if you see in Gray Court, just got that tons of rain. Town by town, street by street, showing us how we're looking at soap. As I believe we just lost the radar. Gonna get us back in. Sorry there. I'm not really sure what happened. I think we lost the radar signals, as now we're halfway across the world. Okay, never mind. So just mainly rain happening across the upstate. That's what it's picking up on. That heavy at times across the upstate from Youngs to Woodruff, all around, taking a drive, kind of showing us all of that. Yeah, just tons of rain. And we're not done, okay? So just... Oh, okay, so we just are losing a little bit of our radar. Okay, so just so you know, we got a strong patch back towards Walhalla, Salem, and Westminster. That's moving its way into the upstate area. Norris, Liberty, yeah, just showed up packing a punch. You can see down near Waterloo, Lake Greenwood, Silver Street. That system is being heavy. I expect for it to hit Newberry, this part that has potential 0.5 on hail, to be hitting our friends here in Newberry about 2:07. So that storm's a little slow, but we're picking up on how powerful these systems are, right? They can be powerful at times, right? So super resolution, reflectivity model, spectrum width. We just kind of turn to each model so you can see how much the storm is spread out across the upstate there. Definitely correlational values, yeah. Kind of just different models to show you what we're seeing. So our hybrid models, which we kind of shows us more the heavier indents into the storm. You can see lots of heavy masses down towards the parts there at Woodruff, Fountain Inn, yeah. Our array of accumulation kind of just does the justice for us. So just ecotroph models also there on your screen. So this different models to show you different things to help you understand what's going on outside. The composite reflectivity model is another good one that kind of shows us different versions of, hey, we got that strong storms down towards just tons of rain packing a punch across the upstate. So remind everybody, stay safe out there because it is packing a punch this afternoon. Just remind you, stay indoors if you can. Alright, I'm going to cut into the camera. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Alrighty, jumping back into our radar. We're now under a mesoscale discussions. Alright, can't talk. That kind of is going to show us, and we're going to show you our mapping. Okay, we have to change screens for you. Sorry there. But I'll remind everybody that stay safe outside if you can. If you're outside, try to make it back indoors because... Alright, there we go. Back on the radar. Okay. You can see that storm is moving down towards Cross Anchor, Woodruff. And it's kind of a little bit slower system across the upstate. But also that mesoscale discussion is what we're looking at. I'm clicking onto that right now. Alright, so you can see that says, just kind of shows us that severe weather is possible, right? So let's read to the top. It's got scattered convection will evolve east-southeaster today, bringing a risk for damaging wind gusts to portions of the southeast. Yeah, that damaging winds. And if you can read down here in yellow, it says the corridor for greatest potential for damaging wind gusts. And that is some of us here in the upstate. So just watching our wind values, we're going to take you to the National Weather Service. Alright guys, I need you to chime in on the comments if you can. Kind of tell us where you're watching from, what it's looking like across the upstate, because we need your help. If you can tell us, hey, this is what the system is doing at my house, wherever. So I know the YouTube banner says My Classic TV. That's because we were running our programming earlier today. We're not running programming anymore because we had to break into programming, but we're turning on to the National Weather Service because that's going to help us a little bit with the guys. If you are watching live on WFIN News 2 on YouTube, we need you guys to chime in, tell us where you're watching from, kind of how it is where you are, because it's a little nasty weather out there, right? So we need to make sure that we can get you to what weather is tailored just to you. But we're going to Alright, so I asked where y'all are watching from. I need some responses, please. That would be amazing. So we can tell you what we're looking at. So you can just, if you're watching live, just hold on just a second. We're trying to get our radar pulled up from the National Weather Service because sometimes that helps a little more than other radars. So, as you can see, hazardous weather conditions this afternoon. Severe thunderstorm warning, right? Chance of storms, we got 92 degrees. That's our high in Greenville. Yeah. So that we're watching for sure. Now we're going to take you into our radar because our radar kind of does us a little bit more better justice, showing us what we're looking at. Alright, so if we can zoom in on this, not really sure if we can do that. We're going to try to bring it a little bit more onto the screen. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to get YouTube changed back over. Alrighty, so on your screen, this is our kind of our radar. Kind of what we're watching, the strongest severe storms. Now, this is from the National Weather Service, which kind of gives us a little bit more better justice of what we're looking for. You can see town by town. You can see from Spartanburg, Greenville, you can see that warning is popping up on near Gray Court for sure. And you can see that band of storms moving down towards Charlotte, or excuse me, towards Columbia. Cannot read. But yeah, so that's what we're watching for. We need you guys to tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Because that storm is still rocking and rolling across the upstate. It's not done yet. And trust me, when it's done, you'll probably know it. Because you won't hear all the rumbles of thunder outside. I'm taking you to another look. You can still hear those rumbles of thunder. We're going to take you to our Skycam network in just a few minutes. Because that kind of gives us a more better justice of what radar, what town by towns seeing the most storms. So we're going to show you kind of our radar, satellite and radar. Some of these things you have to, it's better to pick out their maps as you go on their website because sometimes the maps kind of suck. Oh, no, back up. Oh, no. Totally clicked the wrong thing. That's towards the coast. We need the upstate. Okay. So our weather story, this is what our weather story is looking like. Can we get that enlarged? Somebody? Yes, possibility. Okay. All right, so this is our flash flood threat through today. So mainly our flash flood risk is towards our friends in western North Carolina. I'm not seeing any flash flood risk here at home, but that's also because scattered thorns will be very capable of producing very high rainfall. But if you really think about it, we're in the upstate. We don't really get much flooding. I don't know if you can remember, Hurricane Helene brought us a little bit of flooding, but I will say it wasn't too terrible. Oh, okay, sorry, we're still having issues with our green screen. Can we get a little change there? Okay. So like I said, that, and mainly the upstate is under a marginal risk for flooding, but I will say it's nothing to be I'm so sorry. Okay, so we are under a slight or a marginal risk for severe weather, which is at least 5% of potential flooding. And then the friends in Western North Carolina are up to 15%. That's parts of Walhalla, Salem, and Seneca. So that's a little more of the not so good thing about this. So through Sunday night, we see Sunday night. So tomorrow night, that's when we see that most of our upstate is now under a slight risk. We were under a marginal risk as of today, but tomorrow that kind of changes the story. Yeah, we realized that never mind. We just thought we had it good, but now we have that potential for storms. So this is our forecast map, is what we're about to show you. Try not to be in competition with like Chris Justice, but I will say that we do not have as good as a live stream. We don't have as many people watching as we intend to. Yeah, you can just hear that storm. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here at home. We get it a little full screen there for us. Now, this is the map that shows us our forecast maps. Now, I like looking at this because this right here, the kind of checked out in yellow, if you were to look down here, it's extremely hard to see. It says severe thunderstorms possible. Yeah, that is through tomorrow. And yeah, it's pretty much telling us just this. We got a low pressure front that's moving towards our north, up towards Virginia and parts of above North Carolina, northern North Carolina. So you can see slight risk for severe storms. The latest Storm Prediction Center is kind of showing us a little bit more. Today's today's outlooks for today. This is issued, I believe it was today. So most of the United States under a slight risk for that. Now, that's most of the United States. Now we're looking for not tomorrow. We're looking for today. But we're looking down towards the Carolinas, right? The Carolinas are also showing us that, yeah, we have that slight risk for severe weather, unfortunately. Now, we are reading, of course, according to my radar right now, that moderate rain is starting in the next hour or so. So, we need to watch out for that. Kind of getting the map out, checking up on our YouTube friends. If anybody is watching, wanting to know where if anybody has questions, hit us in the comment section below on live on chat, and we will get you what you need to see. Sorry, kind of get out of the camera. So, of course, that map is showing us a little bit different stuff. Our radar, we've already seen what our radar is looking like. Mainly today's a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm not seeing much of anything else. So the latest product is issued by the GSP. So that is nice to know. So, do we need to look at for any graphical hazards? Let's go ahead and turn on to that. For most of the upstate, you can see that most of us, for lightning risk, this is our risk of lightning. Do I expect us to have a lightning risk? Well, I'm seeing more of elevated risk for lightning. That's on our screen through tomorrow, 8 a.m. tomorrow. Oh, if I can get my hands out of the way. 8 a.m. tomorrow through Monday, that's when we have that elevated risk. And Western North Carolina, for some of us in Western North Carolina, maybe parts of Travelers Rest, that's also showing that, yeah, we might have Marion, Asheville, showing that, yes, more significant lightning, which could be possible across the upstate. So, yeah, that is nice to know that, hey, we got that. Look, our hour-by-hour forecast kind of showing us, it will tell us that not all of us are receiving rain right now, which is kind of interesting. So not all of us is receiving rain. So the drought, like here at the studio, I don't think it's even raining here. Our drought monitor, are we looking at any kind of droughts across the United States? The Carolinas looking like this on our drought monitor. So for more of the upstate, I would say we are Pickens County, let's say Greenville County. What are we looking at in Greenville County on our map for droughts? And that is on your screen for Greenville County. Okay, I clicked on Greenville County. Okay, so it's looking like that half of us are in that orange, which is a severe drought for most of Greenville County. That's upper Greenville County. You can see that little right above my mouse there. And parts of Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, near the lower part of Greenville County. You can see that we're more in more of a moderate drought. Now the coast, I'm looking towards Beaufort, Georgetown, Folly Beach, all those areas showing extreme drought conditions for those friends down in there. Unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with, friends. Just loads of droughts across the upstate. We just got a little bit of a drought. Now you can see this thankfully that our rain is giving us a little bit of relief from the drought, but I will say it's nothing what we're all looking for, right? Carolina Weather Center, we're trying to build up some names. If you're wondering why we have so many names for a ton of stuff, we're trying to build out a name, like different names, trying to update our graphics a little bit, build out some better names for things in our studio. Like, Live Stupid Opera 2 Weather, we don't own a Doppler radar tower. The only people in the upstate that owns a Doppler radar tower is other than National Weather Service is WYFF News 4, and they own the Live Super Doppler 4, and we kind of call ours Live Stupid Opera 2, even though we don't own a radar, and that just kind of means a collection of radars across the upstate that help build out our maps, our forecasts, all of that for us. But no, we do not own a Doppler radar, unfortunately. That costs a lot of money. I'm taking a look right now into our Skycam network. Whoa, didn't expect to go black. Okay, cutting back in, you can see, looking like tons of rain across the upstate, packing a punch. You can see it's even still a little wet on that Skycam and on our roads there. But like I said, we're building out some better names for our radar. I will say we have had names like Viper radar network, because we don't want to totally give up on Live Stupid Opera radar, but we kind of want to call it like a Viper, like Weather Viper, like WFIN News 2's Weather Viper, immediate accurate coverage or something like that. We're also trying to launch some like apps, like Apple TV apps, Roku apps, like the WFIN News 2 mobile app on your home screen of your telephone. If you have WFIN News 2 mobile app showing you on the telephone, opening up to our app, you can see on your screen, and yeah, we're going to have to turn off that effect. Chroma key is off. Okay, so you see that on your screen. It kind of shows us our latest story about a power line that was down in Simpsonville yesterday. And that's where you can also find if you click on the bottom and click video, and you can see some updated videos. We're trying to make a phone app, but for your Apple TV or Roku, so we can watch live and more better, but we're kind of learning on that. Mac apps potentially. So just that strong to severe weather that is possible today. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our intro, cut back in so we can get back on this track on this live stream.
WFIN News 2 is breaking the programming at Breeze.
All right, everyone, so we're back out from programming. Sorry there. So like I said, tons of that severe weather moving down, and now we have more stronger storms to be watching for down towards Carlisle. You can see a new system. Now we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings across the upstate. That is moving down towards Carlisle and Whitmire. Then down towards Whitmire, you can see there's also a special weather statement for Blythewood, parts of Columbia, and it's just rocking and rolling from the upstate down to the Midlands, which is where Columbia is. I actually know of somebody who's a YouTuber who does weather for the Midlands, but don't you worry, we've got you covered for the upstate. Thanks for the new subscribers, everybody. I really appreciate that. She's somebody I know. All right, so let's go and time it out. Town by town, street by street. You can see a new system just popped up. Now that's, I think, 4. Now towards Woodruff. Doppler radar has just indicated that we've got some hail potential. That's near Woodruff, and getting closer in street by street, town by town is what we can show you. Now we are going to be looking at a different look here on your screen. Let's go ahead and take you out to the Skycam network. So like I said, we looked at the Skycam earlier and we said, hey, it's looking like some strong to severe storms. That's what we were looking at earlier. Now, if you look outside of our studio, you can just tell that, yeah, that we got some storms possible. Now you can see all that Skycam. That's I-85 looking towards Spartanburg County. I do believe there, yeah. Spartanburg County is where we're looking at. I-85 north, mile marker 52 in Spartanburg County. Or no, I'm so sorry. That's in Greenville County. Yeah, that's in Greenville County. And you can just tell that the rain is causing traffic, and there's left 3 lanes to be a little slow out there. It's not completely holding us up, but it is causing us to be slower across the upstate. Now we're going to take you to other looks of how we look at, or what else we're looking at across the area, because it's not just parts. So we also noticed. Oh, nice. Okay. So we just also have noticed that if you were to look on our radar, you can see it's going down towards Columbia. But our friends who may be watching near Columbia, don't you worry. We're going to get you to Columbia with a ride around the upstate. That's what we'd like to consider it, a ride around the upstate. That's what we're going to be showing you. Also, we're going to be showing you live Super Doppler 4, which is on WYFF News 4. On their website. Okay, so our system is being a little slow this afternoon, so bear with us. That's what happens when you're running and gunning on live, on air. But so if you have any comments, anybody got any comments, questions? Somebody said St. Louis, Missouri. What state is this in? South. Oh, gosh, can't spell. Alrighty, so Janet Wright, thank you there. You said St. Louis, Missouri. So this is South Carolina, a little bit away. I'm very sorry that we don't have forecasting for where you are. But hey, if you know anybody that lives in South Carolina, make sure you tell them that WFIN News 2 has the place where they need to be. So like I said, Skycam network across the upstate doing us justice. It is slowing down on those left 4 lanes across the upstate. So if you are watching, put in the comments section below where you're watching. Thank you. That's what I thought. Okay, perfect. So anybody else have any questions, put them in the chat now, because we are taking any questions that you guys may have. Because some of these storms are rocking and rolling across the upstate. We want to make sure that you know what's going on. So if you tell us what town you're in, we can tailor the forecast to you. Okay, so this is a look right now at live Super Doppler 4 radar. Okay, perfect. So, okay, they're from St. Louis, Missouri. Perfect. That's nice to know. Thank you there. That's our top fan of the day. Really appreciate that. But I want to say, so this is called Live Super Doppler 4, okay, so that we don't own this radar. This is owned by a TV station in Greenville, South Carolina, which is just minutes from our studio. And they own this radar, which they can give us and them town by town, street by street information on where these storms are. So you can see the heavier amounts of rain is down towards Simpsonville, Gray Court, and it is packing a punch there. I think we just lost the radar. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay, so packing a punch down towards Simpsonville, Woodruff, and that's moving down towards Columbia. Yeah, packing a punch there. So if you know anybody in those areas who just wants a little more peace of mind knowing what's going on outside, definitely let them know where to watch because we got them covered. So tons of lightning. Now these systems, more of our heavier system, like we did pinpoint our air earlier. More of our heavier downpours are down towards Woodruff. 26 there, I-26, where 385 crosses through Gray Court, and just minutes from there, you can see the supercell system just basically showed us that now we have a hail, I'm assuming it was one piece of hail, I'm not really sure, but it just hit down towards near 101 in Woodruff, and we're going to give you the exact location on that. That is not too far from Highway 101, and that's, you can see these little stages it shows. Well, that just basically shows kind of what our track is, where the hail could be moving in Woodruff area. It's a ton of system down towards Woodruff. I don't think we have a sky cam down there, but it just goes to show you how many lightning strikes. There's probably 100 lightning strikes in this system near Woodruff. 221 going from Woodruff to Greenwood. Near Clinton, Lawrence, you can move down towards Columbia. That storm is also packing a punch near Waterloo, Greenwood. Over Lake Greenwood, I believe the system is taking a minute to load there. Abbeville County also seeing a strong to severe. Tons of hail reports. Now these are tons. Your Cross Hill on your screen. So really, guys, really appreciate all you guys watching. If you have any questions, let us know in the chat. Really helps us out there. But like I said, you can see there's tons of hail that is moving through Abbeville County, parts of Silver Street. I think we just got like 3 more reports into the studio. And that location you can see on your screen just hit 135, so just a few minutes ago. And that severity is, of course, hail. Which hail itself is not really nice to have moving eastward. But most of the upstate, I will say, we're kind of moving away from the hail, and it's more moving and packing a punch down towards Abbeville. Now, we just had a few more reports, like 1 or 2 more reports towards Woodruff, and you can see there's lightning. So these are all lightning strikes that have shown up. Now, you can see right here, it says a little lightning ticker mark. That just goes to show you where our lightning could be expected. And you can see they're just steady popping up across the upstate. Malden is where that's packing a punch at. Greenville, most of downtown Greenville, most of us are starting to dry out. You can see we do have that lull. Alright, so we just got a report in from from WYFF News 4. Live Suit Opera 4, that there is a rotating system, okay? Alright, we're going to get all hands on deck right now. I'm not really sure. It's just winds that are rotating, and that could potentially happen, okay? So this, we're going on air with breaking news, okay? Not really sure if it's going to wind up rotating or not. That is just giving that cell of where it could happen, and that report was just put in at 1:30, so 10 minutes ago. But you can see from where this storm is, 136, where radar is just 2 minutes behind. Alrighty, so it's getting a little bit closer. 136, we need to be sitting at 140. So if you're anywhere down, I would expect more of our rotation to happen about towards 150. Right here, sitting about Lawrence, Clinton. That's where potential rotation could happen if we do see a tornado, okay? I'm not isolating and ruling out saying, yes, there is a tornado happening, but there could be a possibility. So we need all hands on deck. If you are in that area, get ready. Not saying anything is going to happen. Down towards McCormick, Saluda, tons of that heavy rain. But most of us in the upstate, some of us are in kind of a dry spell. On the screen, dry spell, but then you can see that rain is kind of engulfing us back in about 150. Now, 207, I'm expecting to shift more because we were back more towards parts of Easley, Rock Springs, Church, that area. Giving us some little landmarks there for you. But the rotation, like we said, if you're watching and you're like, oh, did he say tornado? Yes. I said possibility, okay? So right here, rotation could be a possibility down towards Lawrence, 385. We're going to get us a camera right there to watch really closely. that system there towards Lawrence. I'm not really sure if we're going to see any rotation, but it is expected. Anytime you see these little marks that show like kind of like a radar, like where it could go, that is basically that's basically like kind of a model showing a modeling out, yeah, that could happen. And if it does happen, that's where it will happen. Okay, so on your screen now, cutting in. Okay, perfect. Time saver traffic, the traffic center. This is look at I know it's in Lawrence County. Yeah, I-35 North, mile marker 6.2. This is not really in the air. This is around the area of where it could happen if we do see any tornadic activity. I want to let you know, like we said, it could happen. That's not saying yes or no, but the possibility is there. And I want to remind you guys to stay with us. If it does happen, we will bring you first on air. But, of course, like I said, not really sure if it will happen or not. We're going to show you another look. But, like I said, down near Lawrence, that is our definite potential this afternoon. Now, our storm, this is kind of our showing our temperature. Well, we're not going to show that right now. We're going to kind of show you back into our weather app. All right, let me see if I'm going to get you to a rotating or potentially rotating cell could happen. Okay, so if you're joining us live, let us know where you're watching from. We do have some severe weather moving across the upstate. That potential rotating system could happen. We're not saying that yes, there is rotating tornadoes happening across the upstate, but it could. We just had a report in from Doppler radar indicated that. All right, we're going to cut that in straight in to show you. All right, if you are watching live, guys, tell us where you're watching. We are shifting gears. We're going to show you our radar, kind of show us what we saw. So we have 6 people watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let us know in the comment section where you're watching. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know right now. We're taking you. It does appear that we do have some tree limbs that have broken because of this. And we're taking you to that look right now. Okay, sorry, our system is being a little slow today. Right there. Okay, so perfect. So you can see on your screen right now. What towns are you? Okay, send another question out to ask what towns you're watching from. So we are live. Perfect. Alrighty, so this is kind of our look. So you can see right now about 1:43. So it's about 2 minutes ago, and I know we don't really have a radar that's like right now into live timing. But if I show you this system right above Gray Court, you can see there was a report of some broken limbs there. Yeah, small branches that had broken. That is according to a Gray Court. I'm assuming the weather center, or maybe weather station in Gray Court. So that is showing. Now this is where I was talking about potential for the potential rotating. Now I didn't say that yes we are rotating. Any kind of systems are rotating, but I said there is a possibility towards Lawrence Clinton in this area right here, this little lull. That's where we're talking about. If anything does happen, I would go ahead and guess that that's where she might happen. But any questions so far? We're going to switch over radars, kind of give us a little more better justice. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. Oh, okay. So we're supposed to be, okay, sorry there. If you got any questions, let us know right now. Top of the show, we will be able to answer those. Okay, we're not really doing good. For some reason, our system is going out, in and out. Okay, let's go ahead and get you back on track to our weather. There we go. Okay, so back on track here. You can see we're gonna refresh that to give us some. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and refresh. Give us a more updated look on this. But like we said, severe thunderstorm warnings across the upstate. That is prone to happen this afternoon, and yes, happening. Thank you for that like. Whoever put that like out there, I really appreciate that. We're gonna refresh the system. Yeah, it is taking a minute to refresh. That is per usual something that normally happens when you're trying to go on live and you have some system malfunctions. And so you're gonna load. I'm gonna take you back to the radar on WIFF News 4 because that was doing better justice and showing what towns by towns. Perfect. Here we go. Alright, so like we said, it says rotating right on your screen. Does that mean there is any rotating systems? Absolutely not. But that is saying that if anything does happen, that's where that storm report could happen. Okay, so sorry for that. Gotta take a break. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm saying about 148 says as we're speaking that you can tell that is still showing up, that we have that potential for rotating winds. Okay, it looks like that report did go away, so that is a good thing. Yes, it did go away. So if you were wondering, we said something about rotating winds that were happening, and yes, it said that there was that potential for rotating winds. Thankfully, it's not there anymore. But moving back into the upstate, Gray Court, Woodruff, you can see that hail. If there is any potential for isolated pieces of hail to be falling from the sky, this is where I'm expecting it to be happening. Now that report just moved out. I think we either lost. I don't think the radar went down, but we just lost those reports, the storm reports. Yeah, storm tracks, storm reports. For some reason we did lose. Okay, so we're getting back on track there. Sorry, now they're back. Alright, so like I said, Woodruff, that is some heavy storms. That is packing a punch there. The hail, if we do see any hail, it would be inside this little triangle. That's where I'm watching from. So we just had a report just go away, so that was very nice. We're gonna go on break for just like 2 seconds to introduce that we've got some severe weather happening across the upstate. So that we can get a video put out there. So okay, so looks like that is not working. Okay, but we will. I thought we had that moved. Okay, so we will be going on break for just like 2 seconds. Okay. Oh. Okay, so. Okay, so guys, if you are watching and wondering what are we doing. Okay. I think we're good on that. We have a pack that houses all of our information stored and graphics and stuff, and for some reason it was not really working right now. Okay, so that should be back on track. I'm not really sure. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take you off air for just a minute so we can get this recording put into place. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, friends, thank you for joining us live here on WFIN News 2. Let's go ahead and take you outside to what we are looking at, because we had that strong to severe storms packing a punch across the upstate, and yeah, it is certainly moving our way. So definitely watching that for us. So what are we looking at, right? We've just got that strong to severe storms that are moving into the area, and we're going to be tracking that all afternoon long across the upstate, so just definitely watch out for that this afternoon. But watch out for all those storms, because they are going to be moving into our way. For some of us, they will be moving out by about 5 o'clock, completely out of our upstate, so that is a good sign there. Alright guys, so we just finished recording that tease. So thank you guys for watching. That is our latest check at our storms across the upstate, if we wind up see any. Because we are potentially watching for hurricane developments. Yeah, you heard that right here from me. We do have that potential eventually this hurricane season for a hurricane potentially popping up. But of course, we'll have the latest on that when we cross that bridge. But for now, that's our latest check at our storms. And hey, we'll be continuing to watch that across the upstate as we go the rest of the afternoon. But that's the latest check at our weather.